We are Steve and Jill.
Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. Steve and Jill here.
Hello.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Stephen Jack Butella.
And I am Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from cool southern Arizona.
Today,
Not
Jill
cool,
and I,
though. It's hot. Sorry.
It's kind of cool the last few days.
This
actually.
is true.
Today, Jill and I talk about what name to use on your mailer. This all came about because we had a huge discussion in Career Path, which is kind of our advanced Land Academy group. Should I put my name on there? Should I use a different last name? Should I put my assistant's name on there? Should I create a name? Should I be anonymous?
I have a question. So you have a pretty solid name, but
I think I have a confusing as heck name.
okay. Well, this leads into my question. What name do you wish you had? If you were born with a different name, or you could change your name, have you ever? This is a girl thing because we think about this stuff.
So Jill and I have our tip-top holding company is called Buwit, B-U-W-I-T. It's a combination of my last name and Jill's last name, Butella and DeWitt. And I think that would be a great name, Buwit, 2 syllables, or DeWitt's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But Butella is all confusing. I have to spell it every time. Everybody spells it wrong. Spell
I can't
check.
say it. I say Butala because it looks like that.
And
to
you know
me.
what? You're probably right.
Okay.
But spell check thinks it's brutal. That every time I type my name in. So
that's a cool name, Stephen Brutal.
I think that's a great name for,
or WWF.
a 70s punk singer.
Oh, there we go.
Jack Brutal.
That's awesome. That's cool. I like that.
So I don't have any complaints about my name. It's fine. The real positive to my name is that there's only 2 out there that I know of in the entire country that have the same name. And we know each other and we get each other's stuff. And this is a funny anecdote. The Stephen Butella that I know has a PhD in chemistry, I think, or maybe physics. And he was a professor. Last I heard was at university in Utah, like totally respected in his field. So, and I'm not respected in my field at all. So it's very we get each other's stuff and we laugh about it.
Yeah.
Like I get somebody's dissertation in an email and I have to send it to him and we really laugh about it.
That's
he gets
funny.
all kinds of weird stuff that they're supposed to go to me.
That's hilarious.
Are you happy with your name?
I always wanted to be the name. It was a Charlie's Angel thing for me. I wanted to be Chris, but fortunately, that's kind of in my middle name. So I would kind of do that for a while. And then my other thing I used to do. This is kind of silly, but every babysitter I had, I would adopt their name. I always thought that was a cool name. I don't know why. My mom would come home and I'd say, "No, now my name is this."
That makes sense because they're all older, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Jill, I'll call you anything you want for the record.
Really? Princess? Is Princess on
Princess
there?
gets called. I call you that all the time.
I know. Yeah, but it's usually not in love. It's like, listen, Princess. That's not how it should be used in a sentence. Okay.
Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the landinvestors.com online community. It's free. And if you're already a Land Academy member, join us on the Discord.
P wrote, I have a signed purchase agreement for a lot with an interesting situation. The current owner is an attorney who acquired the property via quitclaim deed from a client as payment for certain legal fees. It seems the property was divided in 2015 from a larger parcel and then conveyed to this attorney. As such, there aren't any records for this new APN prior to that. The signed purchase agreement is for approximately $10,000, and the comps show that the property should be able to sell in the $20,000 to $25,000 range. There is physical access to the property, though it doesn't appear to be a county road. The land use code is residential vacant, and all the other attributes seem to look fine. I'm fairly new to land investing, so I'm not really sure what I would be getting into here given the quitclaim deed situation. Your insights would be appreciated. I know what I would do.
Go ahead.
Have the attorney convey it, have his company or have somebody in his practice do it for him. An unrelated third party that he knows who's also an attorney to make sure it's done correctly. Next. With title insurance if you want.
Next. We are in the business of buying and selling APNs. When I get a huge deal in that's multi-units, pages and pages and pages of APNs, I know it's a good thing. We're not necessarily in the business of buying split off dirt. So there's a lot of things that can be wrong with this, but I don't think there are any. The fact that it's been cut out, it's got its own separate APN. You can confirm that with a real quick call to either the recorder or the assessor, the county recorder or assessor. I would start with the recorder and say, "Hey, is this XYZ acres? Does this APN look correct to you? Hold on 1 second, I'll check. Yep, and yep." So that brings the question of quitclaim deed. So this is a valid concern, and these are great questions, by the way. You're new, and I'm glad you're asking these questions. A quitclaim deed is usually used to transfer property without title insurance to an interrelated party, usually when there's a split, just like this. Should you be concerned about it? Not really. If it's an infill lot and you think that somebody's going to buy this and put a house on it immediately, then you're going to have to buy this with title insurance, and the person that the title agent or the lawyer, like Jill said, is going to have to go through the process of getting title insurance. So it remains to be seen. If there's enough profit in this, I would run it through title or get that lawyer to do the deal, and we'll see what happens.
So here's what I heard. You agree?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I agree, but this APN business, you're buying an APN. Don't buy it.
Don't think about what it is. Look it up and make sure it's something good. That's all right.
Yeah, you're not buying.
Everything was once split, by the way.
I've made this mistake in the past. You're not buying a legal description. You're buying an APN. Mm-hmm. And that APN has a legal description. If there's no APN, you should just stop right there. That's massive. Put the brakes on and don't do the deal.
Mm-hmm. We're cool.
I'm not trying to complicate this, but it's almost, this is something that goes without saying, but it's confusing this person and it's probably confusing other people.
I thought the whole question was about the quitclaim.
I didn't.
I thought the question was about
got split off.
The quitclaim situation, check. Attorney, check. And how to solve it, check.
Hey, by the way, all properties got split off.
Yeah.
All properties in this country got split off from a bigger property.
They're all once a section or bigger. It was really sections started it. Thanks.
Today's topic, what name to use on your mailer. This is the meat of the show. Do I use my real name?
So here's what I put. Do I use a made up name? Do I put owner of the company? Do I put me as, like, say I work for them? Do I put their name and I work for them? Do I put just a company only? I'm giving a bunch of variations that people can do. Do I put acquisitions at ABC Land, or do I put just simply my name? I know what I do.
Here's what I think, very simply. It's all got to tie together. If you put Jill DeWitt, if I put Jill's name on all of our mailers, regardless of who answers the phone, and regardless whether we have Pat Live for certain mailers or our phone answering service. Because ultimately, if the deal's any good or the seller's interested in selling, they're going to get to Jill. Mm-hmm. And when that happens, they're like, oh, this is Jill. Now I can do the deal. So you want to build that up. And the first thing that most people are going to do when they get your mailer and they open it up and they're sitting at the kitchen table in the morning opening the mail is they're going to look you up. They're going to look you up on their phone and they're going to look that name up is on the mailer. Mm-hmm. And so if you have a made up name and it doesn't tie around the internet, that's not good.
Mm-hmm. Even when you're just starting out, like he was saying that they want to get to me, even you're just starting out, you're brand new and you have your name on. I'm Jill DeWitt, right? And I answer the phone and I say, this is Jill. They are thrilled right then and there too. Like, oh, wow, I'm actually talking to you. That's another high five, positive thing, if you will. You agree?
I completely agree. Okay. I mean, that's about all we have to say on it. Please don't make up names. That's really my point. Don't make up a name that isn't tied on the internet where they can't find it. It's going to diminish what your return is on your mailer.
Well, what's interesting? This part of this came up because we were having a discussion in Career Path about this with some of the people, and they've been in Land Academy for a while, and they are from other countries. They have different accents, and they thought they should go down the path of sounding like I should sound like I'm from, the United States. I should have a name like that, be easier to pronounce or spell or something like that. And they shared their experience. It wasn't even us. They shared and they said, I learned don't do that. So what they can't spell my name? So what they can't pronounce my name? I help them. I tell them. We get over that really quickly because, like you said, trying to sugarcoat it or hide it or disguise it or something is not the way to go. So you want to say my name, whatever culture you're from, country, whatever it is, embrace it, and that's who you are. And and make a joke out of it. Like we all know people too, by the way. Well, you brought up a little bit yesterday how your name is hard to spell, kind of thing. People are often all the time asking when you say your last name. The first thing is, how do you spell that? My last name, they forget. They always think there's 2 T's. Big deal. I can handle it. Whatever. But you may have a long, lengthy name. And I know several people have long, lengthy, confusing names that I can never spell.
Yeah.
But that's okay. We get through it. And it's all about making sure it all matches.
Yeah. And that's my whole point I want to drive home here.
That's it.
It's got to match.
And then the follow-up question is, okay, this is great. I got it. Does it match me as the owner? And I think you answered this, I want to hit it home though. Say I'm the owner. I'm Jill DeWitt, and I'm building up my little company. And now my husband works for me, and now I hired 2 employees, and I have Pat Live, and I'm up here approving deals. I'm really getting on the phone. So I'm asking you, Jack, what name would you like me to put on the mailer?
Your own name.
Me as the owner of the company?
Yeah.
Okay. And just keep it because it's always started that way.
Here's why.
Okay.
If everything goes right on your first, second, third mailer, you're going to realize that, oh my gosh, this is going to be my career. This is a great way to make money. So I'm now going to start branding myself in the company of the name of my company, like Land Academy, or we have a couple land names where we send mailers out. Like DeWitt is the main one, and so after 5 years of sending mailers out and doing deals, people are going to start to recognize that. They're going to start getting letters over and over again or mailers, and they're going to say, okay, this is legit. I'm not going to look it up anymore.
Right.
My sister did a deal. My brother down the street did a deal, and on and on and on. It just becomes branded, especially to not so much to sellers, but buyers for sure. They're going to know exactly. So you want to make sure it just all ties. You want to change your name. Change it before you do your first mailer or your .com or any of that. Stick with it. Oh, that's great, Steve. Coming from somebody whose name is Steve and Jack, and you can't decide which your name is.
Do as I say, not as I do. Well, we kind of blew that one, but that's okay. We're here to save you now.
Should I call you Steve or Jack? You should call me whatever you want.
Do you know what else I was
Which one?
Can I add a follow-up thing is that nowadays, I know people are maybe concerned about security and like, what if they try to track me down or such and such? We're long past that. We're pretty beautiful examples of that.
We're way past that.
It's kind of like, man,
we're years past that.
I still get random phone calls from people like, I skip traced you and I can't believe I get this is your numbers right. I'm like, oh, great, thanks. Yep, this is me, and I answered the phone, but that's okay.
And I never will again.
Yeah, that's okay. So just I say, don't worry about it. It'll be good. It's fine. Happy you could join us today. 5 days a week. You can find us right here on the Land Academy Show.
Tomorrow, the episode on the Land Academy Show is, it's Jack Thursday. And we're going to talk about ordinary and necessary. You are not alone in your real estate ambition. The heck is that, ordinary and necessary? When you have expenses in a company, you start to make hordes and hordes of money like we all are heading toward for sending these mailers out. You need to incur expenses, and they need to be ordinary and necessary. And I'll provide the creative and fun and interesting world of allowable expenses according to the IRS.
I don't know about you, but I can hardly wait. By the way, just a reminder, if you need funding, you've got that killer deal. You're out of funds, you just don't have the funds, whatever it is, but we got to take this one down, please call me. Call Land Academy. It's really just land funding. That's it. And it's going to be landfunding.com. You could check that out too. The phone number, if you want to know more, is 480-885-0045.
We're Steve and Jill. Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.
We hope you find our content valuable and we appreciate your support. If you have not already, please check out our channel and hit the subscribe button.
And your comments and suggestions help us to create the content you're here for. Hitting the like button helps to support our channel's algorithm and gauge your interest for future shows.